Good morning, all. Thanks for joining. So today I'm going to set up a Jenkins server. Okay, Jenkins setup I'm going to configure. So for this, for Jenkins setup, I'm going to configure. So previously I have installed Jenkins setup in Windows Server. Am I right? So in Windows 2019 server, I have created Jenkins setup. So for installing the JDK and installing the uh, Jenkins software file, and I have configured it, that I did that. So anyone have any questions for setting up Jenkins on Windows Server setup? No? Now I'm going to create a new Ubuntu server today. I'm going to set up Jenkins environment. So few projects are creating the Jenkins on Windows Server setup, and few companies are setting up Jenkins on Linux operating system. So most of the environments are creating in the Linux only. Because any idea why they are not creating in the Windows? Why they are not recommending to creating on Windows? Why they are moving to Linux?
Command line.
No. If you are setting up in Windows,
Linux is open
Windows
source.
license cost will be
Open source.
high, right?
Free.
Unnecessarily, you're paying for that. If you selected the Linux, it's a completely free operating system, open source operating system. You don't want to pay for it. And we can use n number of days. That's one thing. And compared to Windows, Linux is more secure. And with a less configuration, we can build our server and we can deliver the services. So let's get started to create a new Ubuntu server to set up the Jenkins environment. So be careful when I'm setting up here. Okay. Click launch an instance. Click launch an instance and give the name. The server name is Jenkins hyphen Ubuntu. UB. Okay. UB means Ubuntu. Now I'm selecting the Ubuntu operating system, and make sure you have to select the different flavors of operating systems in Ubuntu flavor is there. My suggestion 16 and above, you can select it. So right now, Amazon was removed a 16 version of Ubuntu operating system. So don't worry. Right now, 2204 is there. You can use that directly one. Okay, 1604 version we can use for installing the Jenkins, and Amazon was removed old operating system for Linux. So right now, 2204 you can use it. And T2 micro you can use it. 1 GB RAM and 1 CPU is available. That is enough for practice. But for better practices, minimum 2 CPUs and 4 GB RAM is recommended by Jenkins. That not a problem. Now can create a new key pair for this. So I'm going to create a new key pair for this mission. Okay. And so create a new key pair. And key pair is Jenkins Ubuntu _ Singapore.
తీసుకురా తీసుకురా విజయ్ హలో
So Jenkins Ubuntu Singapore, I'm selecting the PPK file directory to download. So selecting RSA method only. Now click, I need to download on my specifics folder. That's it. Now I'm going to use my existing network. Okay, I'm going to use my existing network. I don't want to make any changes here. This is a default one I'm selecting here. And the storage, even you can increase like a 10 GB, 20 GB, 30 GB also. 8 GB is enough for me for practicing purpose. Okay. Only configuration things, so I'm doing that. I don't use much storage on the Jenkins server. And only one server I'm creating, and click launch instance here. So guys, you understand how to create a Ubuntu server in this class. And next, how to connect the Ubuntu server after its power up. So please wait for some time, this Jenkins server. So when it will be ready. Okay. So once it is connected, we need to do installation of Jenkins setup here. So now the installation, I think the VM is completed. So now initialization in progress. So wait for another minute. You will get status check. Then we can connect the server and we can do the Jenkins installation and dependencies. Now refresh here and we can check the status. Perfect. Now can connect the server by using public IP address. And make sure you have to check this, the default security group, which has the port number 80 is configured. SSH port, sorry, port number 22. Port number 22 is configured. Yes, it is configured. Now I can connect. See, this is a Jenkins Ubuntu Singapore PPK and open it. So username is Ubuntu. Hit enter. And we successfully connected each other. Now can maximize the screen. Now can clear the screen. So what is the next step? We need to do that. The next step is we need to check in the server is a JDK is available or not. So the command is sudo. So you need a notes, right? I'll give the notes for you. So how to install Jenkins on Ubuntu server. Step number 1, create Ubuntu EC2 instance any region. So Ubuntu version is 2204 that I'm mentioning here. And next step, connect the server with a putty. Third step, verify JDK versions in Ubuntu instance. Okay. The command is, I'll be writing the command with a dollar. So can you please check this? Sudo apt set jdk is there. This is the command we need to check this. Now can go here. Sudo apt set jdk. See guys, JDK 8 and above version is required, but nowadays is required the JDK 11. So open JDK 11 is available. So J or E also we can install, okay. But going forward, this Jenkins, I'm going to use Maven and to build the packages, right? So during that, I'm again need to install the open JDK file. So software is a prerequisite. So that's why before that we are installing Maven. So open JDK 11 will be running here. So 11.0. So this version is available. Suppose this file is not available. This open JDK file is not available. So how can you check this? So clear screen, Java hyphen version you can enter. So see this. Now we need to install this. Okay. You can install this based on the version. Then you can run this and you'll get a what is a version of a Java will be available. So first of all, we need to create a Java JDK, okay, JDK repository. So the command is one number 4, add apt repository for OpenJDK. The command is sudo add -apt -repository space ppa :open jdk -r/ppa. This command we need to run here. Sudo add apt repository ppa :open jdk -r/ppa. We need to enter. Done. The repository is done, created. So this is a launchpad.openjdk. The file will be get created. So then we need to enter to continue. Okay. For all these configurations in ubuntu.com, these all related of files will get updated. Then the step number 5, update Ubuntu operating system. The command is sudo apt update command. Now copy this and hit enter. So now its pending updates will be taken care of with this command. So previously also updated machine and we downloaded, but again we have created app repository for OpenJDK. Then again we updated the operating system level. Then finally, step number 6, install OpenJDK. Okay. 11 version. Okay, JDK 11 version. What is the command? So here we need to carefully run this. Sudo apt install open JDK -11 JDK. This is the version we need to install. Hey, do you want to install? Yes, I want to install. Enter. End of the class, I'll give you the notes. Don't write it. Okay. Perfect. So now finally, the prerequisites for Jenkins Java Development Kit 11 version is installed. Okay, clear screen, Java hyphen version. Now can check this. Open JDK version 11 is perfectly running, and runtime environment and operating system, everything is clearly updated. No issues here. Any questions here before moving to Jenkins installation on Ubuntu? No questions, I think, right? Next. Step number 7. Install Jenkins on Ubuntu from jenkins.io website. The website address is, this is the one. The website address is, this is the one. You can go here and we can paste this and you can check this. So Jenkins installation in any flavor, like a Docker, Kubernetes, Linux, macOS, Windows, other system, WAR files, servlet containers, offline installation, initial settings. So different things will be there. Now I'm moving to Linux. So in the Linux, Debian, Ubuntu Linux is there. Fedora is there. Red Hat and Alma and Rocky is there. So now I'm going to select a Debian Ubuntu. Debian Ubuntu is there. So now you can follow this and you can install it. So again, this installation is a pretty simple until you follow the step by step. There are two things will be there. If you want to update the main package for 12 weeks of updates, that will be with a long-term service support. That's a LTSR, long-term support release. You can follow these guidelines of even if you need a batch script and you can install it. Otherwise, line by line, the copy and we can install it. That's your wish. Okay. So based on your convenient, and you can please install it. The page was recently updated. A year ago, I think so, this page was updated. Previously, different commands and different address packages are there. And now, this time, the packages are something different. Okay. So last time I have taken this screenshot. Okay. This screenshot, I'll show you. Last time I have taken screenshot and I'll show you. This is the last time I have taken screenshot from whenever installing. Now I can check this. Any other question? So if you want, you can copy this an entire line. You can create a batch script .bat file and you can run it. Entire setup will be installed. Otherwise, you can line by line, you can run and you can do your steps. Okay. Suppose I'm copying this line. I'm copying this line and I'm going to D and hit enter. Done. Next step. Copy this and paste here. Hit enter. Done. Next, again sudo apt update, copy here and enter. It's updated package again, OS package. Then finally we can install the Jenkins software. Yes, I want to install Jenkins. Perfect, right? So now the installation is successfully running and now clear the screen. Now can check Jenkins hyphen version. Am I right? Are you clear? Any other question? So running from these locations. So Jenkins will be running from this location. So now we can start checking another configurations here. What is the next step? I need to check this whether the Jenkins service is started or not. Before that, I will note down the steps in the notes. Next step, step number 8. Check the status of Jenkins. Check the status of Jenkins. So the command is very pretty simple. Okay. So guys, so the command is systemctl status Jenkins. This is a command we need to check. Copy this command, paste here, and you can check The service is active. The Jenkins service is active. Perfect. Next, whenever you shut down and power it on back the server, there is a chances the service will stop. So we can check that whether the service is enabled or not. So the step number 9, check is the service is enabled or not. The command is systemctl is enabled Jenkins. The command is wrong actually. CTL. Okay, systemctl. Copy here and paste it and hit enter. Yes, it is enabled. It is enabled. If it is disabled, it will be showing disabled. So even shutdown, reboot. So you can check that services will be always enabled. Okay. So guys, almost our environment is very, very safe. So our whatever the steps we have checked that, so our environment is good. And only final one step I need to check that. So Jenkins will be configured and managing through browser. Okay, through browser. So the browser, again, it will be runs with the port number, the web port number. So basically Jenkins by default running with the port number 8080. Whether these port numbers are available or not, we need to check that. Okay. So what are the ports are available and what are the services are running that we need to check. Check port configuration. Step number 10, check port configuration in Jenkins server. The command is ps-ef grep grep Jenkins. Jenkins related services I'm going to find out. So copy this. Enter. See guys, Jenkins is running here. And this is a location, HTTP port number 8080. Perfect. So it is running in the port number 8080, but how can I check that whether port is opened or not? Huh? The port is opened or not? How can I check that? So check the tunnel, the port is opened or not. Check the port 8080 is opened or not. The command is ss-tun tunpl. Guys, this is actually not a slash for your information. This is actually pipeline symbol. Okay, pipeline symbol. Okay, this is a pipeline symbol. Actually, the font is an italic font. That's the reason it is showing like this. Better edit font. There is an italic font is there. Regular font, I'll make it here so that you can easily understand. Okay, this is actually straight line. It's a pipeline symbol. So grep 8080 8080. Then we can check this. Check the port 8080 is opened or not. What is the problem? SS-TUNPL grep 8080. What is the reason? I think so. Here port number 8080 is opened. The port number 8080 is opened. Let me close here and save this. No. I think the problem with the command is I copied a dollar also. That's my mistake. See guys, it's listen port number 8080. And I'm going to enable the port number here. So why port number is working? Any reason? Here, all traffic is allowed. All traffic is allowed. Suppose if the traffic is removed, what will happen? Let's see. Same message. Then I'll create one more port group. Add port group. Port is TCP port. Custom TCP port. Custom TCP port. (8080) from anywhere. I'm saving here. Next, I need to check this. Mostly this is open. Okay, internally it is open. There is no block here. That's well and good. So almost all setup is done. So the next step is I need to log into the server. Step number 12, how to connect Jenkins server from browser. Okay. So like this, public IP of the server and followed by port number. This is the way you need to connect. Go to the server, copy here, and you can give 8080 and hit enter. Perfect. Our Jenkins server is working fine. Okay. Step number 13, how to log in first time in Jenkins web console with the temp password. So temp password, note, temp password location is, this is the one. Okay, temp password location is this one by default. So what we need to do, from putty, you can run the below command to get temp password. Is that fine? The command is cat and password. This is the way you need to get it. So this complete line and before cat. So copy this line and go here, hit enter. Permission is denied. So if it's a permission denied, write a sudo, then you can run it here and you'll get a temporary password like this. Now you can go here and you can enter the password and click continue. You successfully logged into the server. Okay, successfully logged into the server. So once you logged in, install suggested plugins. Okay, so community level, you can find out what are the plugins is required. Otherwise, Jenkins initial setup will recommend you some important plugins. You can select and install it. See guys, there are multiple plugins by default. They'll be showing here. If you want, you can install. Even later also you can install. Now also you can install. So now optimizing and administration. So these are the some default plugins are there. Let them install. Suppose you don't want to install Ant tools. So Gradle tools, you can uncheck and you can click install. Later on, if you need it, you can install it. Okay. So now see here, this is source code management. Git is by default, it is showing that. If you don't want, you can uninstall. If you need a Bitbucket, you can select here. If you need a GitLab is required, if you need a GitHub is required, you can select like this. Okay. So finally, you can click install. Okay. It takes some time for installing all these plugins. N number of plugins are available in Jenkins. Going forward, we can see here. Okay.
Rajesh sir, I have a question.
Mhm.
Okay, so what we are doing is we are doing so much manual. So in the real scenario, do you think that this is a manual thing? It's pretty tedious. Instead of, I think we can use some configuration management, like Chef or something to automate it on all the different servers, the Jenkins installation.
The automating of installation, these steps.
Yeah.
But whatever I'm explaining, this cannot be automated. Maybe if you're doing through Docker, yes, we can do that.
But Docker, I think there will be a already
Different
pre-requested
different
image from
configuration,
Docker Hub.
different configuration, different architecture. It's a
No, but
serverless
I
computing model.
think I already have an image or some public repository like in Docker Hub. I
Hmm.
already have an image for Jenkins, and I can just containerize it and create an image out of it from Docker. So that will work, right?
Maybe other people get confused. Let me clarity. So Docker is nothing but it is a serverless computing model. It's a containerization. So even there also there's a small operating system will run. In the top, we can build our Jenkins system. So this much of server is not required. If you need, yes, we can configure through Docker file configuration.
Okay.
So we already seen this, right? Docker. So you can see this Docker. This everything will be readily available. You can check this. So all these things you can configure this a Docker file and you can run it automatically. Everything will be configured.
Just
Like
automatically
this.
install the
Automatically.
Jenkins on that
Yes. Yes.
container.
Automatically configured.
Okay. Then I can push it into repository, and any other person can use it as well.
If you're pushing to the Docker Hub repository, yes, anybody can use it. You need to give your name.
Okay.
Okay, so now plugins are installed. Now it is asking to set up an admin account. Better you can give the name admin only and password, whatever you want, you can select. And the full name also you can give admin. And email address, your wish, anything you can give. I'm not giving any correct name, correct email address, just for taking information wise, it'll be taking. Then I'll be just giving a fake information, save and continue. And this is a address where you are using to connect the Jenkins server. So if you shut down and power on, this IP address will be changed, that you know, right? Because of we need to make it a static IP address. Otherwise, you can take a what you called elastic IP address and we can assign to this machine. Again, will be chargeable. No worries. In case of any IP address change, we can connect by directly. No issues. So this is a where address you can connect. Save and finish. So finally, start using Jenkins. This is the main console here. Okay. This is the main console here. Here only we are going to start a projects and going to create a pipelines and do the job. We are not sharing the lab to anyone. So make sure everyone you have to set up your own lab. So in next class, I'll show you how to create a job. How to create a job that I will explain. And along with that, so Jenkins plugins, Jenkins artifacts, Jenkins Nexus configuration, email configurations. There's so many concepts are there that will be discussed in the further classes. So before ending the session, any other question now?
Yeah, yes, sir. I have a question, sir. Sir, you just now you confirmed that Jenkins in Linux, no, sir. But in earlier classes, you installed on Windows, no, sir.
Both same setup.
Yeah,
Even
yes,
after
sir.
you connected with IP address and port number, you will get the same screen. No changes at all. But
But
most
I
of
am
the
not getting
environment.
that one, sir.
Hmm?
But I'm not getting that IP address port number in web browser, local system.
Okay.
And I have a screenshot for Nginx too, sir. Even Linux also user data from user data we have connected that. But if for that also I'm not getting IP address. Web.
You can check the port configuration. So how I will be troubleshooted with the Jenkins, the
Yes,
port
sir.
configurations and all. Same way you can try for your Windows system also. It will work. Both are same. No changes at all. Here only port number 22 we are using. In Windows we are using 3389 we are using. So better my suggestion. You
Yes,
can
sir.
log into the Windows server and open the browser internally, and you can access with the private IP address, not with the public IP address. It will work.
Okay, sir. I
You
will
can
do
try.
that.
You can try.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
But make sure you have to port number should be open 8080, and firewall should be turned off. In the Windows server, firewall should be turned off.
Yes, sir. I turned off, and the proxy settings also I done, sir. But even that also, I'm not getting
Mhm.
the logo of that particular tool in
Okay, you can try
web browser.
today. In case if
Yes,
it is
sir.
not there, we will discuss in the next meeting.
Okay, sir. Definitely. Thank
The
you, sir.
suggestion is log into the Windows server locally, and by using the private IP address and followed by 8080, you can connect it. Okay?
Okay, sir. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Any other questions? No? Thank you all. See you tomorrow.
Please